Hello and welcome to my unboxing and first look at the Kroxigor for Seraphon for Warhammer Age of Sigmar from Games Workshop. Now, a box of these three will cost you a whopping, are you ready for it? Are you sat down? £37.50. Can you believe it? Their redeeming feature is that this set does actually include 128 plastic components, which is a huge amount of plastic components. I think one of the reasons is because it is a dual build kit. So you can build the Kroxigor or the Kroxigor Warspawned, and they have different heads, different weapons, slightly different bodies. So there's a lot of options. I'd say it's not that thick of a box. It's a little bit thinner than the Agrodons, but the Agrodons have 35 components fewer than the Kroxigors, but there we go. The Agrodons, of course, are not a dual build kit though. So let's unwrap this, rip and tear, and we'll have a little look. There you go, they're the Kroxigor. Out of everything that I'm most excited about, yes, I do like the Agrodons. I'm not that keen on the Scar Veteran, but my favourite is still the Spawn. Then it's these guys. So there you go. They're the Kroxigors and the Warp Spawned. I prefer the heads of the War Spawned. Did I say Warp Spawned? There's the 40k coming through. I prefer the heads of them because they look more like kind of crocodiles. But I do like the weapons of the normal Kroxigors. It's just a shame that I think the price of these, if they'd have only just released one set for, I don't know, £30 and another set for 30, I would have rather that, because I probably would have picked up two sets and then I would have spent £60 instead of just £37.50. But as it stands, you know, if you wanted to buy 6 models, so the Warspawned and the normal Kroxigor, it's now going to cost you £75. £75 for 6 minis. Another redeeming feature though is that these guys are massive. They're huge. 3 sprues. Let's unbox these. Oh, we've got a bit of plastic in there. Oh dear. Which is odd considering we've just opened a box that had 3 bases that didn't require, you know, a plastic bag, and they were similar size bases as well. And before we have a look at the sprues, let's just have a little look at the instruction guide. So yep, you've got blue or green, and the main differences are the weapons and the heads, but also if you look at the bases, like, they look different, the bases they've gone for. This guy seems to be in the same pose, but those 4 look a bit different. Anyway, you've got interchangeable parts. These are the Kroxigor weapons, these big maces, and then these are the Warspawned maces, I guess. I don't know what you call them. They're the bodies, and then you've got a couple of variants here, yellow and pink, I think that is. And then you've got a couple of options here for the green and blue, and then pink and yellow again, green and blue. Oh, and then we've got loads here. Wow, so you've got yellow, blue and green, pink, blue and green. That's going to be a bit of a tricky build guide, I think, for these. A bit confusing. Multiple colours. Look at this. You've got yellow, blue, pink, yellow, green, yellow, pink, yellow, green. I mean, wow. Okay, this might need a little bit of reading up to see what we can go for. Wow, quite an exhaustive guide. Look at that, different kind of scenic base there, and there are your differences. I just think the heads suit, the smaller heads suit the Kroxigor rather than this big crocodile head, but still, I do like the crocodile heads. And that's the instruction guide. Quite a thick instruction guide, guys. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. It's like an 18-page instruction guide for 3 models. There's your bag with 3 bases. Look how big the bases are. Forget your Terminator bases and things. These are whopping 50mm bases. So these are way bigger than Terminators. Probably one of the biggest minis you're going to have for your Seraphon. Anyway, these are the sprues. So we've got like a body and a neck. We've got part of the weapon, one of the arms. Look how big the hands are and the heads. Massive, bigger than the Agrodon heads even. Look at how big the maces are. More tails. There's an alright amount of detail, but I wouldn't say as much as the models that we've unboxed recently. Maybe it's just because the scales are kind of bigger on them, but the teeth look really good, and the eyes and the faces. There's some detail. That's really good that they've done this on plastic. There's sort of like 3D detail underneath as well. I mean, obviously, still not going to be up to scratch compared to resin if they made these out of resin, but I think they've done a good job for what they've done. See, with resin, you'd have detail on the kind of overhang, the flaps of all of those spikes, but on this it's just smooth in there, and it's all joined as well. It's very smooth and joined, but yeah, great detail on the faces, and yeah, these guys are going to be huge, aren't they? Yeah, one of the ripped, these guys are swole, one of the ripped front chest piece and torso. You've got some bricks there, you've got another mace and a head of a mace. More mouths open, more feet. I think that's a tongue there. Yeah, very, very cool. Yes, they are pricey, $37.50, but I think they do look awesome, and they're going to be fantastic. Can't wait to do some size comparisons on these with the other Seraphon. What do you guys think of the Kroxigor? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down below. Be good to hear from you. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for watching. Lord Kroak protects.